Gratitude. It has been said that it turns what we have into enough, that it is medicine for the heart and soul. So join me by the sea for this full body yin class and connect to all that you are grateful for. When we remember all of the blessings in our lives and give thanks for them, that is when we truly begin to live in the present, be at peace with our past, and find hope for our future. Let's get started. Finding child's pose at the back of your mat, extend your arms out in front of you and take a few deep connective breaths. Setting your intention for this practice of gratitude. Being thankful for everything in your life. The good, the challenges. Give thanks for it all. Let's lift up to tabletop. Drop the belly and look up, and round the back as you look down, moving through cat-cow, going as fast or as slow as you feel like, trying to move with your breath, connecting to the present moment, connecting to how you're feeling. Let's walk our hands out farther in front, and keeping the hips over the knees, allow your chest to begin to drop towards the mat. You can look forward between your hands or place your forehead on the mat, whatever is most comfortable. Opening up through the chest. Continuing to breathe, beginning to connect, and intentionally find things to be thankful for in your life. What is one thing that you can give thanks for right now? Maybe it's your mat. Maybe it's your body, your health, your ability to do yoga, your ability to just move. Just focus on one thing you can be grateful for in this moment. Let's lift up, walking the hands back toward the knees, sitting back to child's pose, rounding the back in a counter pose, and coming back up to tabletop. Let's come up to our knees, place the hands on the lower back, and prepare for camel pose. You can stay here, just allowing your head to release back, or you can stretch your hands down to your heels, opening up through the chest, pushing forward through the hips, squeezing the glutes, feeling this great back bend. Allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to open up. If this becomes too intense, you can of course come up a little bit or come out completely. Take a breath and then come back, or just take a child's pose. Make this your practice. Let's bring the hands back to the lower back and slowly lift the head. Sitting down, coming into child's pose again for a counter stretch. Let a big sigh out. Release all the air out of your lungs. Coming forward, let's switch to sitting down on the mat. Stretch out your left leg in front of you and bring your right foot either into the hip crease of the left hip or just to the inner thigh of the left leg. Finding half lotus legs with the forward fold. Grabbing on to your ankle, your foot, or maybe your calf, behind your knee, wherever you can feel a stretch in that left hamstring. We're holding each pose for an extended amount of time, allowing ourselves to go deeper into the muscles, allowing ourselves to go deeper into the mind as well. Let's release up. Stretch out that right leg, maybe shake the legs out a little bit, and switching sides, bring the left foot to the right hip crease or to the inside of the right thigh. And lifting up and reaching forward. Bending from your hips. Finding a stretch in your hamstrings. Allowing yourself to sink into this pose. And remembering whenever you feel challenged, whenever it feels a bit intense, just reconnect to your breath. Take a deep breath in and exhale it out. Reconnecting to your intention as well. Maybe thinking of something else that you have to be grateful for. Let's reach back up to the sky, release that left foot, shake out the legs, maybe roll the ankles a little bit. And let's bring the right knee into the chest. Cross the knee over the left knee. I'm just going to swing around to the front so you can see what I'm doing a bit better. We're finding our shoelace pose. So left knee over the right knee. You can also bind the arms as well, getting a nice tricep stretch in that right arm. Reaching behind your back and up with the left hand. You can use a yoga strap or a belt or anything, any type of rope to help you reach your hands together. And let's just focus on opening ourselves to the idea of gratitude. Finding more and more things to be grateful for, realizing how blessed we truly are. And let's release the hands and the legs, this time crossing the right knee over the left knee. You may need to reposition yourself a bit. And switching arms. Right arm is reaching up and down behind your back, reaching for the right hand. Both sit bones should be on the mat. Breathing into the stretch. Let's release the arms, release the legs, swing them back behind you, lifting up to downward facing dog. Let's hold the stretch and then lift the right leg up into three-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands, finding a low lunge. Feeling the left hip flexor opening up. And then straighten that right knee, bringing the hips back for half splits. And back to low lunge. Back to half splits. And let's hold here. Breathing in, lifting the chest slightly, and exhaling, releasing the nose a little bit closer to the leg. And you can stay here, or if you'd like to practice your full splits, take your feet farther away from each other, stretching out both legs, finding Hanumanasana. If you're someone who struggles with finding things to be thankful for, maybe the first step is to take notice of where you are mentally right now. Be aware of any negativity, any complaining, anything negative that may be coming to your mind. Pay close attention to the things that you are thinking and the things that you are saying about yourself, about others, about the world. And if you'd like to make this pose a little bit more flowy, you can exhale as you release down towards your leg and inhale as you reach up. And lift up your chest a little bit more, moving with your breath, or just stay still in the splits pose. Take note of where you are mentally in this moment. To come out, let's bring the heels a little bit closer together, walk the feet in, finding half splits. Before we move back to low lunge, lift the back knee and step the right foot back into downward facing dog, where you can pedal out the knees before we lift that right leg up again. Reach it up, bend the knee, and then step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. So finding a lizard lunge, and roll your foot open, coming onto the side of the foot, the right side. Maybe place your hand on your knee and open up that right hip. And you can stay here or bring both hands to the mat. If your left leg is getting tired, you can release the knee to the mat. And then let's walk the right foot in and over to the left side, finding our pigeon pose. And you can stay here or maybe come down onto your elbows, maybe have a bolster or a block under your chest. You can even have a prop underneath your right hip or your left hip. Just make this as comfortable as possible for you while still challenging your flexibility. So challenging that right hip to open up, the left hip flexor to stretch open, and just pause, reconnecting being mindful of how you are thinking right now. What are you thinking about? Do your thoughts drift easily to thoughts of gratitude? Or is it a challenge to think of those things? Is it a challenge to find something to be positive about? Just be mindful. No judgment here. This is not a time to be hard on yourself. Just take note and breathe. Let's come back onto our hands, lift the back knee, and stretch the right leg up to three-legged dog, and find downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet, or just holding before we move on to the left leg, reaching up to three-legged dog, and stepping between the hands for our low lunge pose. Bringing the hips back, straightening the left leg to half splits. And back to low lunge. Inhale. And exhale back to half splits. Maybe moving with your breath, lifting up and folding forward a bit deeper. Or finding your full splits. Reaching your feet to opposite sides of the mat, trying to square off your hips as best as you can. And remember that you are responsible for your own thinking. You can control the thoughts of your mind. You can choose to think positive, grateful thoughts in this moment. Maybe moving with your breath, reaching down as you exhale toward that leg and lifting up as you inhale, moving with your breath or just holding still. Maybe taking a moment of gratitude for this body that you have, because it is beautiful and it is wonderfully made. It has a beautiful purpose. This body is your sacred temple. To come out, let's bring the right knee in a bit closer, the left heel a bit closer to the middle of the mat, finding half splits, and then low lunge as we lift the right knee, reach the left leg back into three-legged dog, and finding down dog again. Feel free to pedal out the feet before we lift the left leg up again and step it to the outside of the left hand, finding our lizard lunge. And opening the left hip now coming onto the left side of the foot. Again, dropping the right knee if this becomes too intense. And just allow your hips to sink toward the mat. Let's walk the left foot to the right side of the mat now, finding our pigeon pose. Imagining both hip bones are trying to touch the mat. And you can stay here on your hands or bring yourself down to your elbows, your chest reaching for the mat. And let's return to the idea of gratitude for our bodies, for our health, for everything that we're able to do thanks to this body. It is your sacred temple, and it needs protection. It needs nourishment. It needs rest. It needs exercise. It needs stretches just like this one. In this moment, you are taking amazing care of your body. You are setting aside time to take care of yourself. And this time that you spend taking care of yourself will give you the resources that you need to take care of others. So enjoy this moment. Enjoy this time of self-care. Let's lift up, hands on the mat, tuck the back toes and lift up into three-legged dog, and then finding downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet before we bring the knees to the mat. And let's come widthwise on the mat, walking your knees out further and further from each other. Your legs are bent at a 90-degree angle. Feet are flexed, finding frog pose. This may be a pose that's quite intense for your knees that are pushing into the mat. So maybe put some pillows underneath the knees, or you can do this pose against the wall. So on your back and just opening the knees up to either side. It all depends on how your body feels in this pose. You can even have a bolster or a pillow underneath your chest, and you can rock forward and back slightly, feeling how your body reacts to this pose. This is quite intense, a very intense hip opener, but it does wonders for the hips. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Relax. And to come out, let's bring the knees together closer and closer, moving slowly, taking your time to come out of this pose. And you can join me seated in the middle of the mat. The left ankle is over the right knee. Again, our knees are bent at a 90-degree angle. We're trying to stack ankles and knees over each other. Finding fire log pose. We're sitting up tall, the spine is straight, feeling the intensity of this hip opener. Your ankle can be lower on the opposite calf if need be, because this can be a challenging pose. Wherever you are, just breathe. Send love to this body that you have and connect. I invite you to take a moment to think of someone or something that you can appreciate or give a compliment to. What words of positivity can you share today? This is a way of cultivating an attitude of gratitude. To release, let's slowly remove the ankle from atop the knee. Maybe shake out the legs in front of you. And switching sides now. Right ankle on top of the left knee. Readjusting yourself. Again, maybe the ankle is a bit lower on the opposite leg. The goal here is to feel an opening in your hips. So it doesn't matter if your top knee is close to your chest or all the way down on top of the other ankle. It doesn't matter what we look like. It only matters how we're feeling. It matters that the body is safe, that the body feels relaxed. Because the more relaxed and at peace you feel, the more your nervous system is going to relax and allow you to go deeper. Allow your muscles to release any tension. You can place a gentle pressure on your right knee if you'd like to, just inviting it to go a bit deeper into the hip. But always respect your current limitations. Respect where you are and know that it is temporary. Maybe taking a moment to find gratitude for this time, for this day. No matter if it's been difficult or joyful, whatever it was like, just say thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for all that I'm learning. And let's release. Maybe shake out the legs in front of you. And let's swing the legs around, coming onto the back, bringing the right knee into the chest and making circles, going one way and then the opposite way. It's bringing more blood flow into that hip. And you can grab onto the right toes with the right fingers, finding a lunge pose actually on your back, bringing the right knee toward the armpit, really getting into that right hip. You can stay here, or you can extend the right leg out now. Your left arm is reaching out to the side. Left leg is straight out in front of you. Connect to your breath. And just go wherever you need to go. Let's bring the right knee back to center. Release the foot, stretch out to opposite sides of the mat. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes a bit. And then let's bring the left knee in, making circles, bringing more blood flow into that left hip, changing directions. Circle and grab the big toe with the left fingers, or you can grab on to the calf or even behind the knee, trying to bring the left knee toward the left armpit, stretching out your right arm to the right side. Right leg is stretched out straight, opening here. And extending the left leg if you'd like to, or keeping the knee bent. And let's bring the knee back to the chest, release it down, stretching to opposite sides of the mat, and then bring the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side, massaging the lower spine. And let's open the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, finding our Supta Baddha Konasana, or supine bound angle pose. Your arms are relaxed at your sides. Palms can be open to cultivate openness, or you can place the palms face down to find a sensation of grounding. Allowing your knees to drop, releasing toward the mat. You can bring your hands to your hip creases, the tops of your thighs, and place a gentle pressure, nothing too intense, just enough to decompress that lower spine. You can do this a couple times with a little break in between, or just stay in Supta Baddha Konasana. And you can stay here or join me for Shavasana. our very last pose. Relaxing every single muscle in your body. Allowing your feet to open, to relax. Noticing your forehead and your face. Releasing those muscles. Unclench your jaw. Allow your tongue to hang softly in your mouth. Allow your throat to relax, your chest to sink into the mat. Your arms are heavy at your sides. The only movement is your belly slowly rising and falling. Your glutes are relaxed. Your thighs are melting into the mat. Let go of your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. Everything is completely relaxed. Let's begin to move the fingers and the toes, stretching to opposite sides of the mat one more time. And let's roll over to one side, coming up, finding our seated pose. Legs can be crossed, reaching up to the sky, and hands come down to heart, reaching up and down. Place your hands over your heart and say thank you. Thank you for making this time out of your busy schedule. Thank you for making time for yourself today. Thank you for joining me here in Corsica for this sunset yin yoga flow. It is truly an honor to practice with you, and I hope to see you again soon. So much love and gratitude to you. Namaste. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe.